I'm Glenn McGinnis, and this is Outburst. On the program, do you feel your tax dollars are being spent wisely?
Yes. I believe in our government. I voted them in. I believe in them.
They're never spent totally wisely.
I don't work in finance and I don't necessarily understand how the money's spent and how debt matters to us and how day to day that really affects us as people.
They've lost their way. That's my personal opinion.
But first, for the 8th straight time in 12 months, Canada's central bank has hiked its benchmark interest rate, which now sits at 4.5%. It's an attempt to bring inflation down to its 2% goal for 2024. It's also an attempt to bring much needed stability to the Canadian economy. This means it will, of course, cost more to borrow, and homeowners with a mortgage will feel the pinch. But the Bank of Canada has indicated this will be the last hike for a while. So we took to the streets to ask Canadians how this is impacting them. Our question: how are rising interest rates affecting you?
They're affecting me in terms of groceries. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm really watching the prices and shopping to different grocery stores, not just one.
Well, they're making the cost of anything we have outstanding a lot more expensive. Doubled, almost doubled. So it takes away from other things that you can do.
Not really. I don't have much debt, but I heard the people around me, they need deep debt. So it's kind of hard. But both of us working, me and my wife. I got my daughter. She's in university right now. It's kind of tough with the tuition, but we handling it.
Well, it's affecting the mortgage rate, and I was actually in the middle of buying another property, which now it's stopped. So even though the prices are lower for the homes, it's still, interest rates are crazy high. So not good, not happy.
Well, it's everywhere, right? You see it at the grocery store. I'm driving an electric car, so I can't say it's affecting me buying petrol, but you see it, and I'm human, and I hear how it's affecting other people and my surroundings. So I guess it's affecting me emotionally, just because I know it's affecting a lot of people that might not be as fortunate.
Who isn't it affecting? It's hard to afford anything, really. It's hard to live, hard to pay bills, hard to buy simple things like food.
My mortgage is locked in, but if I've noticed friends of mine and family members who had not locked in, or even new home buyers can't afford a house. And that's a huge problem in an economy, because the economy can't just consist out of just rental prices. And even rent is going up so much that people can't afford it.
Well, you definitely see it during grocery shopping, just your everyday shopping. Your dollar doesn't get you as much as anymore, right?
The cost of living just increasing, purchasing power decreasing, food's going up.
It's rising interest rates are certainly affecting me in terms of certain debts that I have, certain debts that I carry with me that are costing a little bit more. So it's making the purse strings tighten up a little bit. But yeah,
probably not very much. Yeah. Why not? Well, I don't owe any money, and I don't own any mortgages that people owe me. So
I feel for the younger people who are I've got a friend who their mortgage has gone up $1,000 a month that they had posted. That's their mortgage. They're a young family.
Well, I'm careful with my money, so I watch everything and I check at the bank all the time, and I don't have a mortgage, so that's a good thing. So they don't affect me overly much.
Ooh, okay. I'm a student at Dal, and I'm sure that has a reason why I pay more each and every year for tuition. So I'd say that's a problem. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not unaware of them, but honestly, I'm not that concerned.
Why?
Because I don't have a mortgage. I don't have any huge interest-bearing accounts or anything that's going to make a difference. So it doesn't really affect me very much, I think.
A lot. I think everyone is in the same boat. What can I say? I mean, everything is so expensive. It's hard to, for example, I have all of my friends, we're all in our almost in our 30s, and we won't be able to probably afford buying a house. I don't even know. I can't even give a timeline. I have one friend that just bought their house, but even now, because the interest rate and everything is so expensive, it's crazy.
Money out of the pocket.
right away. I mean, I have debt, so you have to pay the highest rates. So, yeah, they have a direct impact. Not happy about it.
How would you like to see it play out?
Well, I think it's got to come down to something that's close to inflation rather than, I mean, the interest rates seem higher than inflation right now. Or there's a disconnect somewhere. And I guess it has to align with wage increases so you can manage the costs.
Well, as a homeowner, it's something we're watching very carefully, and everything is going up, interest rates are going up, so it's definitely impacting my life.
In what specific ways can you say, or?
Our disposable income is reduced, and food prices are up. So gas prices, everything is up. So we have to watch everything very carefully now.
The cost of living is drastically risen over the last little while, and don't see it coming down anytime soon. And I don't know if what we're making these days is accounting for what we're paying these days.
I worked a minimum wage job for a few years, and even though I have a higher rate, it still feels as if I'm barely struggling to get by most of the time. And honestly, I wonder how everyone else is doing for the most part, because I think of myself and I go, I don't know. So it makes me wonder about everyone else. But aside from that, I can't say too much. I'm still just trying to figure things out for myself. That's about it.
This time last year, and on this exact spot, dozens upon dozens of mostly large transport trucks and thousands of demonstrators converged right here in downtown Ottawa for the Freedom Convoy, an unprecedented event protesting pandemic rules and regulations, which included a vaccine mandate for truckers to cross the Canada-US border. The protest showed us how divided this country can be, especially with pandemic mandates such as masking, vaccines, or lockdowns. But now that a year has passed, are things different, or are they still the same? Our question. 1 year later, what did the trucker convoy protests change?
I think it's made more people aware, people that I know. They've made us a little bit more aware as to who is really protesting something. And are they just a whole bunch of other people just joining without any real understanding of the issue, of any issue when they protest? They see a crowd and people protest,
I don't believe they changed anything other than they bullied the government into, getting rid of some of the masking. But other than that, I don't think it was effective at all. In fact, I think it was really ineffective.
I'm a physician, so the people who think that it's kind of stupid to be what the convoy guys were standing for, At the time, I may have this wrong, but I think that they weren't allowed to go into the States anyway without certification of vaccination. And their big fuss was they weren't allowed to come back. But, I don't know, just the whole thing just seemed kind of dopey. And I felt quite sympathetic to the people who lived near where the honking went all night long.
I don't believe so. I think that things were eventually going to change. I didn't think a protest like that needed to happen. It affected a lot of people, a lot of people's mental health and accessibility to go anywhere. So I find it did more worse than good, personally.
Well, if there was ever a resurgence of COVID, I think it's going to be very hard to bring back public measures.
Because of those protests?
It's going to make it more difficult. Yeah, I think it probably.
Why would you say that?
Just because it probably did help shift public opinion, and for good or bad, I don't know. But it's going to be just harder to do politically.
I don't think they've changed anything. I was very upset about it because I didn't understand it. They were talking about freedom, And I think in this country, we have a lot more freedom that people are taking for granted that most of the world does not have.
Has it changed anything? Probably not. But I think that it makes the middle ground people like myself question some of the things that the government has done. And, just makes you rethink things.
Honestly, not much. I mean, realistically, they wanted the mandates to be removed. They got told to leave. They got forced to leave shortly after. The mandates got removed anyway. So the question is, was it done just to make them happy at the time? Who's to say? All I know is during that time, it was starting to get better, and then they showed up and everything got worse for a good while.
I think it changed the mentality of the downtown core and sort of what we allow to happen in our downtown core on Wellington, for instance, across from our Parliament buildings. It affected all the communities in the downtown core. It was very disruptive for Ottawa.
I think it made more awareness in terms of people's values and interests. I hope that it gave a little more clarity in what people were feeling at the time, but also to be aware of conspiracy theories and the like.
I think it changed perceptions of all the lockdowns. I think it made people take a second look and see how it was done, and was it done in a way that was fair and equitable.
It's hard to say that. I mean, everybody got rights to protest, right? But if they that they're infecting normal people's life, they should keep it down a little bit. That's all.
To be honest, I think it woke up a lot of Canadians that are still sitting back in hiding, haven't come out clearly. But I think the attitude towards the federal government has changed drastically.
I guess it depends on who you ask. Some people will say, oh my gosh, you gave us freedom. Without them, we wouldn't be able to talk without our masks. And some people will say, they didn't really do anything because the mask legislation was about to be amended to being removed anyways. So I guess it depends who you ask and who it benefited in that moment. There's people in Ottawa, they'll say it didn't do anything for them except disrupt them. There's people in Ottawa, they'll say, oh my goodness, it gave ways to other countries to also protest. So I just like anything, it's always going to be on how it affects us or that individual personally. So again, it depends on who you ask on that one.
I think it changed a lot of people's perspective on vaccines and the ethical nature of whether or not we should be telling people that they need them or not. Definitely kind of changed people's minds. I know people that were really vehemently anti-vax, like they're kind of being vindicated, and people that maybe didn't hold that opinion beforehand are now kind of going to that side. But it definitely changed a lot of people's opinions on that.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, I think it was a waste of time, personally. I was disappointed in the people, and I'm glad it's not happening again.
When was the first Black Canadian elected to the House of Commons? 1940, 1957, or 1968? 1940, 1957, 1968.
I'm going with 1968.
Ooh, I want to say 57.
I want to say C. Oh, I'm going to say 1968. 1968?
57.
68.
Absolutely correct.
Yes.
Let's have a handshake.
What do I get? A handshake?
A handshake.
I'll take that. I have to run.
Thank you.
Bye.
Lincoln Alexander was elected in Hamilton West as a progressive conservative in 1968, becoming Canada's first Black MP. In 1979, he would also become the first Black Canadian in a federal cabinet as Labour Minister in Joe Clark's short-lived minority government. Alexander also served as Ontario's Lieutenant Governor from 1985 to 1991, again acting as a trailblazer for Black Canadians. Paying taxes is not a choice, it's an obligation, and Canadians pay their fair share to all levels of government. The revenue generated usually goes to things like healthcare or education or even infrastructure, just to name a few. But where that money goes and whether or not it's spent wisely can be up for debate. We sent our cameras out to ask Canadians if they feel their money is being invested where they'd like. Our question:
do you feel your tax dollars are being spent wisely?
I'm fine with it. I think it is. I see a lot of maintenance work and everything. I have a little bit of doubt, but I have no problem with it. I think it is.
I think that we could focus a lot more on healthcare and education. I think that teachers and nurses deserve to be paid a lot more money. A lot of people in those jobs, especially as they're often female-led, aren't getting paid enough, and there's not enough money going towards those. I think a lot of it was affected, especially with people receiving COVID benefits, which was definitely needed in a lot of case scenarios. But I do think that needs to be more focus on education and healthcare.
Yes. I believe in our government. I voted them in. I believe in them. I think they do a good job.
I mean, to a point, there's some things that are in major crisis right now. The medical system, especially here in St. John's and Newfoundland. I had an operation. I had a hernia. It was 6 inches by 12 inches, so it was huge. It doesn't look like it, but I looked like I was pregnant a month ago. We got good people. I'm really concerned about the healthcare.
No. I see the roads around town and they're patched up pretty poorly, and most operations around town are usually handled pretty poorly as well.
I guess the roads around Newfoundland seems like they're getting a little bit better, so, but I don't know, it seems like we're paying in a nice bit of taxes, so I don't know where it's all going actually, so.
I think the governments are doing what they can. There's only a certain amount of dollars. They're trying to do the best they can to put money where it needs to be, and whether it's enough, no, it'll never be enough. But I don't want to pay any more.
They're never spent totally wisely, I suppose. Sometimes I think by accident they're spent wisely, you know what I mean? But other than that, well, we got a system, the so-called, like Churchill, everybody quotes this, Churchill said, democracy is not the best system, but it's the best system of all the others, kind of thing. But democracy is messy, it's slow, and it's painfully slow sometimes.
Provincially, I think so. Federally, on the other hand, I don't think it's being utilized the best way it should be. I use as an example this $35 billion acquisition of these new, it's 35 billion or whatever it is, 70 billion, I think, actually, the F-35s. And I think it's, yes, they need to upgrade the planes, but are these planes as dependable as they say they are? 10 years ago, whatever it was, whenever Mr. Trudeau came into power, he stated no, he would never buy them. Now he's flip-flopped on that. So, that's my problem with feds. They flip-flop a lot.
This is a conversation that I try not to take too strong a stance on because I am not in the federal government. I don't work in finance, and I don't necessarily understand how the money's spent and how, debt matters to us and how day-to-day that really affects us as people. But I do think I'd like to see the money felt on the ground better. You know what I mean? Like, I was just reading this morning how there's billions of dollars in supposed spending from last year that didn't get spent. Well, that's not wise spending if we're expecting certain programs and we're not getting them. But at the same time, I'm not one who says, slash spending, slash government. I think the point of our government is to provide services. I want to see them spend the money. If they're going to take it, spend it. And spend it smart if possible. Nobody's perfect, obviously, but I'd like to see it actually go into the services we expect.
No, I don't think they are. I just think government has gotten too big and chasing probably the wrong things. There's things governments probably should refocus on and spend their effort on that. So, yeah, I just think that they've lost their way.
I am a big supporter of paying tax for, social benefits like healthcare, education, that sort of thing. So I'm a big proponent of putting money in so that as a society we can support each other.
I feel they're being spent the best they can. I feel government is there to help society the best way they can, but they can't solve everything. Some of it is left up to us, and seeing what's going on in the rest of the world, I consider myself extremely grateful for living in Canada and for what my tax dollars give me.
With the price of virtually everything rising over the last few years, especially in the grocery stores, for people who are in the lower income bracket, putting food on the table is becoming increasingly difficult with each passing day. With rising interest rates, rising inflation, and of course, a looming recession, the pressure seems to be on the Prime Minister and his government to make things easier for those who need it the most. So we ask Canadians to put themselves in the Prime Minister's shoes to come up with some viable solutions on how to help Canadians properly afford to feed themselves. Our question:
If you were Prime Minister, how would you ease food insecurity issues for low-income families?
It feels like money hoarding to me by rich conglomerations, and the government can absolutely attack that without having to worry about handing out money to the everyday people, which I'm not against, but I do think there's room there for legislation to regulate how prices are raised in this kind of situation.
Competition. The problem is that we have probably 3 or 4 families that own every grocery store there is. It's really a monopoly in some respects. So we need more competition. We probably have the rules in place, so focus on the rules to ensure that competition stays. Yeah, competition brings down prices, makes people efficient.
I feel that those are very big shoes to be in, and I just feel that one thing that the big name supermarkets should be investigated with price gouging, increase in bread prices. Sorry, the cold is affecting my throat. Increase bread prices and increase in all food prices.
I feel like even just amongst my own family and friends, there is a lot of food wastage. So I guess I personally would focus on how to kind of like bring people's awareness to the fact that they should be more conservative with their food. I think awareness is definitely number one.
I mean, there's got to be some like subsidiary programs that can help low-income families get groceries and stuff like that. That would be amazing, obviously. I also think being on an island here, price gouging is out of hand because it comes by freight. So there's definitely a lot of things they could do. I definitely think subsidiary program would be my go-to thing, something like that for low-income families. So those are the right people.
Well, invest more, give more money to the farmers, probably. I mean, most of our food is coming from our own farms.
I'd probably, a lot of politicians, especially on the Liberal Conservative side, especially Conservative, they've been reluctant to bring in a guaranteed annual income, right? But you're paying out money in welfare anyway. You're paying out money in all kinds of benefits, you know what I'm saying? And people are on the streets because they haven't got enough place, a decent place to stay or a place to stay, and haven't got enough money for the basics. So, the thing is, I know, sure, there would be a very small, I think small, but a very small group of people who would deliberately take advantage of the free ride sort of thing. But I think the vast majority of people would benefit from that. And there would be less homeless and so on, and to provide more housing. It's expensive, yes, the upfront cost of all that is terribly expensive, but at the same time, what's the cost of jails and mental hospitals and blah, 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 and crime? So, you got to balance it out, right?
I'd rather see the change in price rather than give out, a couple $100s to people here and there, and see some action besides some words, but
I wouldn't even know. Well, first off, that sugar tax that they just made, that's kind of crazy as it is. I mean, we're already in an isolated province as it is. Things are more expensive to get to us, and then in order to purchase it. I personally live alone, so buying fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff like that is kind of hard because I end up throwing it out most of the times because it's just me. So it goes bad before I can eat it. Certainly would like to see some better pricing, but I don't know how they would achieve that.
More affordable housing, I think, is probably where we start with. I think real estate's been quite an issue, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert on this, but that's where I would start with that.
Also taking advantage of the produce that perhaps isn't pretty. You know, having maybe those in a special store along with cans that come out dented or the labels ripped or stuff, because things like that don't go on the shelves, and there's no reason that product can't be sold at a lower cost for those people.
Inflation prices are just insane now. Even people that are making a good salary these days are finding that groceries are insane and housing is insane. So for low-income families especially, I think just more accessibility to food and more accessibility to better housing so that they can actually have somewhere to go for their food. I know there's food banks, but just more people donating hopefully, and maybe having some sort of grocery store that's a little bit less expensive for those like low income families some way. I don't know, that's a tough one.
So you actually have to fix prices for food insecurity, for homelessness. It's actually predictable that happens. Like real estate is the good example related to that, is if there's a constant demand, the prices stay up. Well, what that provides, it makes homelessness predictable because the rents, and things like that are predictable. If you fix prices, however, on fundamental needs, just like the universal basic income, if you give everyone that and do it in a certain way, it actually can work. But if you fix prices on foods, right, then everyone can have food, and everyone can have, you can have a free market around some things, but around basic needs, around housing, having food, and enough money to live.
I think the grocery stores make too much of a profit right now. I think that's proven. So I would have the grocery stores make less of a profit and give us a break.
Thanks for watching this episode of Outburst on CPAC. If you have any comments about this show or any other show, you can find us on social media. You can also find us on our website at www.cpac.ca. I'm Glenn McGuinness, and on behalf of my colleagues at the Cable Public Affairs Channel, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.